How's it going, everybody? Trevor from Suited Engineer Productions here, and I am back again, this time with a Q&A video where I'm going to be queuing all of your I'm going to be A-ing all of your cues. So on Twitter, I put out a message asking for people to give me some questions that they wanted to get answers from me. So I accepted questions from YouTube, Twitter, and Discord, and I'm going to be answering those questions today. First question is, will you ever finish your horror film? Yes, Chris, I'm working on that right now. I'm hoping to be done with that in July-ish, maybe. We'll see. I don't know. This project has been taking a while to get done with, and I also haven't had a whole lot of time to work on it, but slowly but surely it's coming along really well. Serious question. You're in a room with your favorite movie director and you're allowed to pitch a movie idea. What is your pitch? So, my favorite movie directors would probably be Phil Lord and Chris Miller. I've absolutely loved everything they've put out over the past, decade, especially, of course, the Lego Movie. If I was to go and pitch an idea to them, I mean, they're really good at taking already existing franchises and turning them into really good movies. So, why not give them a Super Smash Brothers movie? I mean, I'm in love with the Nintendo, repertoire of games, and I think that if they had the reins to a Super Smash Brothers movie, that could be pretty sick, honestly. What is something you have done during your time brick filming that you regret? Honestly, Hudson, it's probably just the fact that I haven't taken enough time to work on films. I've rushed a lot of things. I haven't really thought a whole lot of things through. There's shots that have come along where I could have made them longer, or I could have spent a little bit more time on them and made them look a little bit nicer. There's certain sound and editing effects I could have done to certain things to make scenes look better in the long run, and really it just comes down to needing to take a little bit more time and investing that into my projects. What is your favorite smell? Probably pizza? What do you think about CGI in brick films? Personally, I love CGI in brick films, honestly. I mean, it works for the Lego movies, so, how can it not work as a brick film? I mean, yes, I consider CGI films to be brick films if they're, done with bricks. I mean, I don't think that there's really much of a question to that. It's just a different form of brick filming that's not stop motion. But I appreciate CGI brick films. They're pretty dang cool. For the Q&A, don't click the box until you're recording. What's the worst metaphor for life that you can think of on the spot? Life is just a giant trash can. The end. Favorite movie that everybody hates or dislikes? I guess, would Robots count? I don't know if Robots is really like that hated. I mean, I love that film. I mean, it's one of the films that, shaped my childhood. I think it's lesser appreciated. I don't think it's really disliked. I enjoy that film quite a bit. It's one of my favorite animated films, so. Robots. So Pongal, you gave me a slew of questions here. I'm gonna go through all of them. What's your advice on being productive and getting projects done? With that, it's just perseverance and needing to, set a goal and just go for it. There's really not much more to it than that, than just, keeping enough drive and momentum in what you do and, being excited for what the end product is gonna be. Next one is, what are some films that inspire you and influence the movies that you create? I don't think I'm really inspired by specific films for a whole lot of things. Like the horror film I'm working on right now, it's kind of weird because I've never really watched horror films before. A Quiet Place is probably the only horror film I've actually sat down and watched. I mean, I've never seen any of the Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street films. I haven't seen any of that. I've been watching a lot of Black Mirror recently, which has kind of been helping with the whole creep factor and horror edge of the film that I'm working on. I also watch a lot of action films and adventure films, which is weird because I don't, film a whole lot of that necessarily. I guess the best example of one of those would be The Adventures of Tintin, because that has a lot of, slapstick humor and just a lot of really good comedy in general in it. And I primarily produce comedy films, so I guess it kind of works out. Last one from Pongal is, what are some of your biggest heroes from history and modern day? I mean, I love Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt is one of my role models, honestly. I mean, I really look up to how he has kind of taken his stardom to the next level. He just seems like a really down-to-earth and genuine guy, honestly. And I'd love to meet him at some point. Like I said earlier, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, I love them as directors. Would love to, meet them. I guess from history, probably Abe Lincoln. I don't know why, I've just always thought that he's one of the coolest presidents. I mean, keeping the U.S. together during the Civil War. I don't know, I respect the man. Also, that stovepipe hat, it's pretty nice. Is water wet? No. Hello. Hi. Hey Trevor, are you still in high school or are you in college now? Either way, how do you find the time? Currently, I am in high school. I'm a senior. I'll be graduating in the next few weeks, actually. I'm going to school for film for college. So my hope is that I'll be able to keep doing stop motion stuff in college amidst classes. It's going to be a little hard to do that because classes take up a lot of time, especially film courses, and I'm not exactly sure how much of my animation equipment I'm going to be able to bring down to the campus with me, but I want to keep doing it as much as I can, so I'm going to try my hardest to do it in college. I mean, when it comes to finding time, it's usually just if I have an hour or two to myself, I will sit down and just get to work on something, whether it's writing a script or building a set or actually animating or editing. I mean, it's any of the steps. If I have some time to sit down and do it, I will do it usually. I personally waste a lot of time, so I could probably get out double the amount of brick films that I do now if I actually stopped wasting so much time watching YouTube videos and movies and playing video games. But that's besides the point. I mean, really, it just comes down to if you think you have the time and you have it set aside, like weekends especially, just make an effort to put it in your plans to go and animate and get something done on a brick film. And, hopefully that gets you motivated to do it. Will you do a potential sequel for Specimen C Outbreak? I hate to break it to you, Stu, but probably not. I had specifically intended on that film being sort of a one and done thing for THAC. I mean, I wouldn't mind revisiting that world. There's probably some stuff from the film you might actually see in later projects. I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but there are some potential ways you could see some characters show up from that series again in different videos. So I guess that's exciting for, those of you who really like that film. I noticed in your documentary that you just used the room's natural light for your set. How did it turn out so good anyways? So actually, no, I didn't use just the natural light from my room. I actually have some soft boxes that I'm using right now. It's literally, I bought these two off of Amazon for like probably $50 or $60. They're kind of crappy. I mean, I've broken one of the knobs on one of them, but they work surprisingly well. They get some of the most even lighting I've had in my films, ever. I've kind of strayed away from using desk lamps in general, because a lot of my stuff requires just even lighting. But I am trying to be more dynamic with a lot of my lighting setups with future films, so I'm trying to reincorporate desk lamps into my stuff. But yeah, I mean, these things work great. The only downside to them really is that they tend to take up a lot of space. But other than that, I mean, softboxes are a great investment, honestly. What is your favorite Star Wars film? Honestly, I love Rogue One. It's like my favorite of them all. I like it. I think it's kind of cool how they were able to make a really solid spin-off film that works really well as an action piece and kind of ties a lot of loose ends between the different Skywalker trilogies. I like it a lot. And finally, what is your goal for this channel and what do you want to achieve? That's actually a really good question, honestly. I just want to be able to make stuff and kind of share my stories with the world. That was really the goal of the channel from the start, honestly. I just wanted to make stuff and, make a community around it and show people, what influence filmmaking can have on people's lives. I mean, it's changed mine for the better, and I'm hoping to dedicate the rest of my life to it. I just think film is one of the most inspiring forms of art out there. It's really moving and a big driving force in my life, so I want to be able to share that with other people. And I just think there's something really magical about being able to make stuff on screen transpose into the viewer certain emotions and feelings and thoughts and motives. It's really inspiring being able to do that, and I've definitely felt that quite a bit with my own films, especially Torment. I've had a lot of people reach out to me and have a lot of really nice messages and ways that film has kind of impacted them, and it's really humbling to get to see that. And I just hope that with this channel to be able to keep improving my craft and showing people that there's a really cool escape in watching Lego brick films. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. I just really like to make movies. Alright, I think that's all the questions. Thank you guys so much for reaching out to me and giving me some of your questions. I loved answering them, and I'd love to do another Q&A soon. So if you have any other questions you want to ask me, go ahead and drop them down below in the comment section, and DM me on Twitter or get a hold of me on Discord at my tag, which should be up here in this corner. And I will see you guys in the next video. Don't worry, I have a brick film coming out soon. You don't have to look at my face anymore after a little while, hopefully. Take it easy, I'll see you guys in the next one. Pseudo Ninja Nerd, out.